get out of the way. You said in the show that you grew up in Texas. How was it?
Oh man, growing up in Texas was a very wonderful experience. I did really before I was on Broadway. All of the theater that I did was in Texas. So you could say that I'm a byproduct of the Texas theater community. So it's not a bad place to be.
How is the theater in Texas there?
Well, there's quite a bit of it, to be honest. I mean, I grew up doing theater at a place called Casa Manana and a place called Jubilee Theater. And Casa Manana is a large theater in Fort Worth and all the way to Dallas and back. And the Dallas Theater Center has shows that sometimes go to Broadway from there. So I think it's a great place to cultivate some new works. There's a lot of space.
Yeah. At what point did you get interested in music or theater or acting, or as they call it, caught the bug?
Right. Caught the bug. I like that. Yeah, it makes it sound like I'm sick of theater or sick with theater. I would say probably around 8 years old. I think storytelling has always been a huge part of who I am, right? You know, offering other people escapism and a good time and things like that. But the first time I knew I was going to be doing this for a living was when I saw The Lion King on Broadway. That's when I knew for sure that this was a job that I was supposed to have, as opposed to just wanted to have.
Have you ever been in did you ever have a part in The Lion King?
No. And hey guys, you hear that? She's asking, have you ever been to The Lion King? Not yet. I do remember flying to Baltimore when I was, I say younger, I was still young, but flew to Baltimore to audition for it. And I felt good about it, but I'd be a pretty short Mufasa, and I'm okay with that. But I wouldn't mind a turn at Pumbaa.
Now, what were among the roles that you grew up in high school doing?
That's a great question. You know, I don't know if other people have this same experience, but there are shows that I've done more than once. You know? Yeah, okay. So that is a normal thing.
I'm always in and out of it with Arrow and Bob.
There you go.
And I played Finch a couple times.
Yeah.
You know, and how they Finch show.
That's the same as me. See, my shows are ragtime. I've done ragtime 3 times and done 3 different roles. Once I was in the ensemble, then I did, or I was the lawyer, and then Cole House, and then Booker T, as well as Little Shop of Horrors. So yeah, it's been a long time doing that.
I was Seymour in my first professional production.
Very nice.
I played Seymour.
I can dig that.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites.
Was you Seymour or the plan?
Oh, I was the plan, of course. You know what? I wouldn't mind singing Seymour though. I have this idea to do Feed Me and sing both parts.
Yeah.
So I can be Seymour and
Do it.
You want me to do it? I'll do it, dude. I'll do it. I'll send it to you when I do it.
Now, how did you get your equity card?
I got my equity card in Texas in a show. I believe it was. It's funny now. I may misremember, and the reason is because in Texas I was able to do a couple of equity contracts, like for one show. So like take the contract but not take the card. But I believe the show I got it for was the Hot Macabre in Dallas, Texas, where I played the Hot Macabre.
What was your Broadway debut and what did it feel like?
Oh my, I'll never forget that. My Broadway debut was Aladdin. Was very unique. The first show I ever did on a Broadway stage was Ask the Genie. I feel that's pretty amazing. And that first show, I remember at the end of Friend Like Me, hearing the audience was his confirmation, and it felt like, it sounded like rain. It was like the most gentle rain you could imagine. Yeah.
Did you do it with Adam and Courtney?
I did. Actually, my very first, you'll know, I'm sure you know all these people. My very first Aladdin was Josh De La Cruz,
Oh, I know
who is
him.
now on Blue's Clues.
I know him.
I knew you would, yeah. So he was, the very first time I did the show, it was with him. But yes, I did the show many times with Courtney, Miss Courtney Reed, she's amazing.
Yeah,
And Adam. Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
Yes, I did with you too, yeah. So many, you know, they've had to have so many people make sure the role keeps going. But I've worked with quite a few. They're
So
all
you're
great.
not in Broadway production now?
No ma'am, I'm not in it right now, yeah.
Now you on the long line of juniors. What did the other juniors like Lever and James Elliott? And what did you learn from your own?
Sure. Okay, well, some things they told me I can't tell you. Genie's secrets, so keep that in the lane.
Yeah.
But really, I learned a lot. I learned from each of them by watching as much as them telling me things. There were so many questions that I would say I forgot to ask, you know, in the process. But just watching how they carry themselves, how they treat the other people on stage, you know, the role is so important based on what the audience sees. But to watch them work, you see that every role is of the same importance. And they were an example of that for me. And I think that's the only way they'll let you play the genie, is if you respect everybody with the same magic that people give to you.
Yeah. Do you have any other backgrounds, you know? Did you learn anything on your own, like you put your thought there to make it easier for you to get your thought than James had it or Trevor
Yeah,
had it?
that's a great question.
What did you do different back then to make it easier on you?
Sure.
to make
Well, I was growing up at church. I was on a step team, right? So I had a lot of rhythm already built into my body, and so I remember using at the beginning of my introduction as the genie, when he steps out of the lamp and introduces himself. I did something that was already within me based on. I took something from the step team and used that, and then did a high kick, and that was the unique entrance instead of the cartwheel and the split that James did. You know, don't know that. I'm sure he can if he needs to, but he didn't always do a high kick and kick his face when he came out. So that was one small thing that I used to stand out to start.
What about back then? Did you put any thought what?
Oh,
You know,
no, I
make
didn't.
up in any different place so you could get it more, figure it out to be easier for you?
Watched him. I watched James a lot. I watched all the videos that you're not supposed to be able to find online. I definitely watched them as many times as I could, and I think that helped a lot.
What would be your dream role?
Oh, I feel like that's an easy question with a hard answer. It's a role that hasn't been written yet. My dream role is one that's been written just for Major.
Yeah. I know you're not allowed to say, but
I know she's gonna do it. Ask me to do it.
are you gonna go back to the Aladdin and
Well, let's just say that once they make you a costume, they keep the costume. That's all I'm gonna say.
I just want to thank you for doing this will go on the Disney holiday at Paper Mill running through January 2nd. Thank you, Major.
Thank you so much.
Thank
This is
you.
good to be here.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.